All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to hopefully got there pushing his word and truth. And in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopefully the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And what I want to get into this morning, we're dealing with, just rolling in the spirit, based off some things I've been listening to, a few brothers, going into news and prophecies, and pretty much we're seeing, the setup, one of the main things, that's becoming repetitive, is there's rumors about, a solar storm, that could knock out the internet. And Esau is, you gotta remember, the media is used for Esau's witchcraft, and propaganda to manipulate narratives, So he's already, just, speculating in the spirit, he's already having a scapegoat for something happening to the internet because there's so many, platforms that speak against this devil and what he's doing. Okay, the evil that Esau Edom is doing, especially the prophets, beginning with the sincere prophets. But so he's telegraphing. He uses media to kind of telegraph what he wants to do, what he already has planned, and he can blame it on the natural occurrence. Because he can just say it was a solar storm. How will we know? He can just say it was a solar storm. But he wouldn't want to just come straight out and cut the internet, because that will give credence to what they call conspiracy theories and all, the narratives that are against him. They'll give credence to those platforms that speak truth. If he just came right out, cut the internet, okay, but it will make it seem as if he had nothing to do with it. He can blame it on the solar system, around on the solar storm, and cut the internet. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that the elites are at war with the population. Now we know as believers of Yahweh Shai that we're on the top of that list. We're on the top of that list of what Esau wants to get rid of. He wants to get rid of this message, and he wants to get rid of us. Okay, as believers, we know we're at the top of that list. But ultimately, all right, because you go to Revelation 12 and 17, it speaks about how the dragon will make war with the remnant of her seed, of those that keep the commandments of the Most High. Okay, so we know ultimately that the number one target, the number one priority that Esau Edom wants to delete is this word. Okay, and the people that believe in it. Okay, so what we have to understand that this devil is at war with the masses, man. And one thing about war, before shots are fired, there's propaganda, there's sieges, okay, and then you also have they will cut, communication. They will try to disrupt communication. That's also a part of war. You had an enemy, you would attempt to disrupt their communication. All right, and the scriptures speak about what? How information shall rail to and fro like a drunkard. I mean, so like information shall run to and fro. So like, I blended two precepts, but that's talking about the nukes running to and fro like a drunkard in Isaiah. But in Daniel, when it talks about, how information shall run to and fro Well, that's through the form of the internet. That's by way of the internet, you know? Because here it is, you can communicate with people, thousands of miles away in seconds, you know? They might be like a second or two behind, the feed, but you can go live and communicate with people 1,000 miles away, you know, and relay information. You got a thing called viral. Things can go viral. There's fulfillment of the prophecy. The information shall run to and fro. And when information is running to and fro this freely, it's hard for him to have a uniform narrative, you know, for his agenda. Because Esau Edom, he always wants to play the good guy. At the end of the day, all the events that go on in the earth, Esau wants to remain the good guy, you know, so people can buy into it. See, he wants people to buy into his new world order. All right. The order for a system or a kingdom to work, you need people to buy into the ideology behind the empire. Okay. That's why even during the Byzantine Empire, okay, you had Constantine, which he was a pagan emperor, okay, but he so called converted to Christianity. Well, he did that because the masses of the people, all right, was buying into Christianity, you know, and you still had pagans, within the Roman Empire, okay, but you had a lot of people that was converting to Christianity. So to try to control the masses and keep the peace as best as possible, he converted to Christianity, and it was really a political move. Okay, because you go back to the Council of Nicaea, which is in 324. I think that's around 324. You can look it up, fact check me. Okay, but you get the Council of Nicaea, and that's when you get a lot of pagan customs infused into what people call Christianity. Okay, that's where you get Easter. That's where you get, going to church on Sunday. Okay, because Constantine he was a pagan, and his main deity that he worshipped was a sun god. It started with an A. I forgot that sun god, but it was a sun god that started with, I think it was Apollo. It was a Roman sun god. That's why you look at these paintings. What they paint as the Messiah. He will have a so-called halo around his head, but really that was the sun. Going back to sun worship, and that's why you go to church on Sunday. You know, but going back to the point, he so-called converted to Christianity, okay, to appease to the people because he wanted people to buy into the empire, okay? And what Esau Edom wants, he wants to control the narrative to get people to buy into the empire. He wants people, all right, well, he wants people to hate what he wants them to hate. He wants them to accept what he wants them to accept, but it's hard to do it with all this information running to and fro. All these counter arguments, okay, all these counter narratives, all this exposure and history and all these facts coming out, and ultimately, all right, the truth, because the truth exposes him more than anything, okay? Because it goes back to the origin, all right, and it lets the world know who these people are. All right, these are the Edomites, and the people that are, in the rulers of the current society, they're Amalek, all right, of the seed of Esau Edom, okay? And these people hate the Most High. They really hate life. These devils hate life, man. Okay, so they seems like they setting up something, to disrupt the internet. Okay, that's why now, for us, as teachers, the men that the Lord put the Spirit on to teach. The main thing is for us, to push this word full throttle, and to be active. This is the time to be more active than ever. All right. And it's also the time to be, fully persuaded and develop and trusting Yahweh Shema Shai. And that mainly takes place off camera, because we come into a time where, it's gonna be a famine of the word, you know, and everyone is pretty much gonna have to maneuver based on what we gained during this grace period. We're gonna have to maneuver with the faith that we gained during this grace period. Okay? The trust in Yahweh Shema Shai, we're gonna have to maneuver with that, all right, based on how we've been building in this grace period. The knowledge, the understanding, you know, we're gonna have to maneuver based on the knowledge and understanding that we've obtained in this grace period, man. Okay, because as we can see, there's a lot of Israelites. They not even gonna know what they're gonna believe. Like when the family of the word come, there's gonna be a lot of Israelites who pretty much just know they're Israelites and really don't have no understanding in what they're a part of. Okay, because as you can see, a lot of Israelites prophecy doesn't matter to them. You know, as the main group, being IUIC, even ISUPK, because these leaders have done and said some of the damnedest things, and Jake still followed. Okay, but all these gimmick groups, okay, these gimmick sects of Israelites, okay, that's going to show when there's a famine of the word, okay, and you're going to see a lot of Israelites were never built up in this grace period, man. This is why the Lord has allowed, this word to go out full throttle, and for all right, our people to have so much access to this word during this grace period, because it's going to time when it's going to be cut off. You know, if you it's like sports, man, like in the off season, if you didn't get stronger in the off season when the season started, if you didn't get stronger and faster in the off season, when the season started, you just had to, hey, you had to, you just had to deal with what you had. Okay, if you didn't get faster, stronger, if you didn't, learn more during the off season, when the season started, shit, it was gonna show. You was gonna be surpassed by other athletes. Okay, they were serious. They took advantage, because the off season really in sports is like a grace period. You know, it's like a grace period to get up to par. You know, you might be lacking in something. You might need something you need to work on. Okay, your handles, your free throws, whatever. Just making an example. Well, the off season really was like a grace period to get those things together. But once the season started, yeah, you know, like the Jake, it's the saying Jake had down here at the racetrack. You see do drag racing down here, and they got a race called Run with any car that you had. They were metal cars, just regular cars against each other. It's called Run What You Brung. All right. But guess what? In the time of Jacob's trouble, we all gonna have to run what we brung. So whatever faith, whatever understanding, whatever trust that we got, we're gonna have to run with it. We're gonna that's all we're gonna have. Okay, so that's why this word got to be in us. That's why we got to be fully persuaded. And there's no way you can be fully persuaded if you're confused concerning doctrine. If you don't know what the MOTB is, okay, there's no way you can be fully persuaded. If you don't understand prophecy, the kingdom, and what it entails, okay, the basics of what the kingdom is and what it entails, there's no way you could be fully persuaded. Okay, and that's why, the Lord is driving home the point and putting emphasis on certain topics so we all can be fully persuaded in what we believe. You know, to be persuaded, you got to, to really be, because see, and that's the thing. Either you're going to be bought into Esau's system, or you're going to be bought in to what Yahweh Shem Al Shai has promised. And if you don't understand the promise, there's no way that you can be bought in. Okay? So, just observing these things in the spirit, just meditating on these things and just to brother's videos this morning. And it's a current occurrence that they talk about, solar system of, things that can hinder the internet. Okay. We just, we hear these things and we report, you know, could be, could not, but we know eventually this devil is not going to want all this information just freely going to and fro throughout the earth. And we see it now with the partial um with the partial censorship, that they have, you know, because he's gradually been chipping away at these alternative narratives, man. People been having to run and scurry to these alternative sites, you know, to post certain videos. Okay, there's him gradually, wanting to get rid of all these narratives that don't align with his. Okay, so this is where we at. All right, and don't be surprised if the internet go down, and because when the internet go down, because this grid, everything is connected with the grid. When the internet go down, a lot of businesses, it's gonna be a hell of a ripple effect. Okay, so we just watch it, and don't be surprised if it come back up. Okay, that all the videos are wiped. Okay, except for maybe a few groups. Okay, don't be surprised, man, if he just do a great reset with the internet, man. It's the devil we're speaking of. So, yeah, that's the point. I just wanted to get into that, while I was on my spirit, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters are edified. Till next time, just want to say Shalom, Form Yashala, Abab Abal, DTA soon, Shalom.